Hi everyone, I'm Peggy Rometo with Intuitive Astrology Star Signs for the month of April 2014. Now, I thought I would do this month just a little bit differently. I know we've had some changes with my program here in the way I'm putting it out to you guys. But here's the thing. The month of Aries has so much energy, so much action going on that I don't want to have to repeat this in every sign. And I want to be able to give you guys an overview first, and then I'll go to every single sign and say whatever there is for each of you individually. But you should know, first of all, I study Kabbalah, and Kabbalah really is about the energies or windows in time. And Aries is in the calendar year, in terms of our astrology zodiac, is at the head or the beginning of the year. So that means that Aries, which is the month that we're starting as of April 1st, is the controlling aspect for our next 12 months. So what that means is these first 12 days of Aries are extremely important because each one represents the sign of the zodiac. So for instance, April 1st, that day controls the entire month of Aries for your upcoming year. April 2nd, the second day, would be Taurus, right? So that controls the whole month of Taurus. The third day is Gemini. That day in particular controls the whole month of Gemini. The fourth day is Cancer. That controls the whole month of Cancer, which is, June 21st to July 22nd. And so on, all the way up until I believe it is Sunday, April 13th, and then we're done. So these first 12 days, we want to be kind of like on our best behavior. We don't want to be judging people too harshly. We don't want to be losing our temper, because all of this is energy that's going to influence our next year. Now, can we use mind over matter and not have it affect us? Of course we can, but these are windows in time that are designed to make our year, these next 12 months of our life, much better, much more joyful, much more productive, relationships better, career better. So we want to take these 12 days, these windows of time that are available for in the cosmos here, for us to be able to inject extra energy into our upcoming 12 months. So they're little gifts for us, and our job is to kind of be on our best behavior so that we get more, right? So we get more good things in our life. And we do that with our consciousness, the way we're thinking about things, the way we're not thinking about things. In other words, we're not thinking negatively about people. We're not talking ill around people. We're being kind. We're doing extra actions that are positive actions to people. We're looking at ways in which we can bring our joy, our source of light, our inspiration to other people. All these things each and every day, if we make a little conscious effort, if you even just thought one time a day, even that one thought a day is going to influence your next 12 months. And also in Kabbalah, we do teach that, or I shouldn't say I teach, but they teach that the zodiac is where we bring in, right, when we were born. That's when the sun and the moon and the stars were all those planetary actions, where they were lined up when we came into the physical world, right? So we're automatically now given this set of tools to help us accomplish our life's dreams. However, the biggest tool of all is for us to rise above that, get above our nature, get above our positive and negative aspects of who we are. So these cosmic windows are designed to actually help us up and go up above the zodiac. So, we want to take this information. We know that it's valuable to us, and we know that we can use it. And of course, we're always looking to never be controlled by these things. We always want to be able to rise above it. But it's always good to know that this extra injection of energy is available for us. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew that this is true for all of us. And here's the thing, whether you believe in astrology or not, it affects you, just like gravity affects you. These windows of time affect you. Now, we've got some important things that are happening this month, 2 eclipses. Now, the first one's a full moon lunar eclipse, and that's going to happen April 15th. And then there's another solar eclipse that's going to happen, a new moon solar eclipse that's going to happen on April 29th. There's the first eclipse also is known as a blood moon. And what the blood moon is, basically it means that it's a very angry moon. It's orange and yellow. These don't happen very often. And angry meaning intense. It doesn't have to be angry. It just means intense, okay? So I don't want you to hide in the corner and go, no, I want to pull the covers over my head. I don't want to get out of bed. It just means that eclipses reveal the truth, and it brings more energy to the situation so the truth can be revealed. Now, if you've been working on a really hard project, this could be a good thing for a lot of you. It could mean that the truth is going to be revealed in a really good way. For others, it may mean it's falling apart, not going to happen, and there'll be disappointment. It could also mean that there's opportunity. I'm gonna wait on that part, because I'll tell you what, as we get into each one of your signs, we'll get into specifically around these dates and what it could mean for you or your sign. Okay, there's another thing that's called a grand cross. And what a grand cross is, it's going to happen April 23rd, and it's 4 planets. And these 4 planets are going to create 2 sets of planets on either side. And those 2 planets, or 4 planets, 2 on each side, they're going to oppose each other. And they call that a square. And when they create this square, essentially it means it's a turning point. So there's these big turning points that can happen around April 23rd. So now we've got all these different things of significance. We've got the first 12 days in which we want to be on our best behavior no matter what's happening. We want to say, you know, all is well, it's fine. You want to turn the other cheek. You want to ignore the negative things. You want to stay positive, because this is injecting energy for our next 12-month cycle here in the physical world, right? So we want to be positive in every way, shape, or form that we can. And then we have on April 14th, 15th, we've got that what's called a blood moon, or the solar lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse that's going to happen. And then we have the Grand Cross that's scheduled April 23rd, the turning points, these hitting planets that are opposing each other. And then we've got the final eclipse, what we call the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus on April 29th in the month of April. And then each of these eclipses, as I said, bring about new energy. They bring the truth. They correct things that are wrong. They bring energy and information to us. So what this means is, bottom line, lots and lots of change, not only for you individually, but change around the world, global change. This could mean upheaval in financial markets. It could mean upheaval in physical upheaval like earthquakes. It could mean, weather patterns. It could mean war. It could mean a lot of things in this month. Now, how can we participate in this month and have it go well for us? Consciousness is everything, as they say at the Kabbalah Center. And consciousness is our thoughts, our actions, our ideas. So we really want to be able to support one another in being positive. You know, it's whatever we're thinking in those moments, look to bring some uplifting communication to the conversation. As my grandmother always used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So this is the month of Aries. You really want to be proactive and being positive. You want to uplift. You want to send energy to all the places in the world where there's going to be a lot of shift and a lot of change. Some of it not so great, but just know that it's paving the way. It has to happen. Old paradigms are dying. New ones are living. We're all part of this. This is like one of the best times to be alive in the physical world. This is a really exciting opportunities for us this month to be able to make a difference with the people that we love and we care about. And just know that all those little positive actions are reactions that go out into the universe and that affect everybody. So keep in mind this month when you're going through your day-to-day, just try and do your best, and especially these first 12 months, to be positive and to be happy, right? Just be happy. Okay, so thank you for indulging me. Now I won't have to go through that with every single sign, although I will touch on the specific dates for you all. So if you're an Aries, born March 21st to April 19th, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? So let's see. Okay, so Aries, right away, I pulled up. I feel pulled up and out of my body. And like, I'm just like trying to get ahead. So I really feel this racing energy with you, just racing ahead, trying to get things done. You want to slow down, because I almost feel like if you run too fast, you're going to miss some things. So really want you to focus, especially this first 10 days or so, slowing down. The universe is going to want to push you ahead like really fast. Your job is to kind of relax. And as you relax, you know, things will be blowing, but you won't be missing anything. It's kind of like you'll be carried along, as opposed to, you know, if you kind of let yourself go, and if you've ever been in a strong wind and you let yourself go, there's that possibility of tumbling over and falling forward, right? So this is why You have a strong wind at your back. That's a good sign, but it's moving fast. So you want to do your best to remain grounded, slow it down, and nothing's going to wait for you. But if you can energetically feel a little heavier in your body, take deeper breaths, relax a little bit more, you'll be able to have moments where you can catch your breath, where you'll feel like, okay, I can handle all these changes. These are good things. I'm excited about it. And there's just a lot to do. Some of you this month, Aries, may be put on notice about your work, about changing. Your companies may be sold. You may have an opportunity to go start your own business. You may have an opportunity to be able to reconnect with somebody from your past and start over, start something new together. You may have an opportunity to create dreams that you've wanted to come true are finally coming true. But there is some risk involved. As you see, even though the handcuffs are coming off and things like that of that nature, there's still a little bit of risk involved in terms of it's something new. It's something you haven't done before, something you haven't tried before. So that in itself is a little bit risky. You're still using knowledge, but you're doing it in a different way that you've never tried before. And it's really exciting. And I also feel like it really touches your spiritual connection, the higher part of yourself. That huge desire. So whatever this new thing is, it has huge desire with it, huge opportunity for you. So you're not going to be nervous or afraid in terms of like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're really going to know what you're doing, but you're just implementing it in a new way. So very exciting time for you guys, Aries. Okay, so let's look at one of the first things, which is the full moon eclipse, April 15th. So you've got the full moon. Well, let me back up. So we always have the new moon, which starts tonight, April 1st, and goes for 24 hours, right? Sundown to sundown. And sundown to sundown. And what you're going to do with that new moon is this is when you eject all your ideas, all your conversations, everything that you want to have happen for your next 12 months, and then specifically in this month. You want to go ahead and you want to put your thoughts and ideas, you want to take some actions. And for you, it might be around career, it might be how you manage your time. And some of the ways that you can do this is just by taking action these first 3 or 4 days in actually moving forward towards that dream or that idea or that conversation. So great time if you want to start a new diet, or you want to start a new exercise program, or you want to start a new relationship with someone, or you want to become creative and start to write books or something. These are all the things that you want to start to do. You want to start to implement a few strategies and pick up the phone and make some phone calls. You want to put some action and some energy into these intentions this first new moon that happens on April 1st. Now we move to the full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening, depending on whose standard you go by. If you go by the energetic calendar, it's then April 14th. If you go by our normal calendar, it's April 15th. Just know that 24-hour time period there from April 14th, April 15th, April 16th, in those 48 hours, but especially beginning April 14th to April 15th. You really want to be aware for you. Let's see, it's your full moon. Okay, so there's an opportunity really for you to shine. Really for you to shine. You may have a speaking opportunity. You will be really influential around this time. You may have people come to you. I mean, really powerful people come to you and ask your opinion and or your ideas. You want to make sure that whatever you're saying, that you can be behind. You want to make sure it's your idea. You want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there, you can back up, because you're getting these eclipses. They're going to reveal the truth. So you can't bullshit, or you can, but just be aware it's going to be fleshed out in the the upcoming weeks. So whatever you're putting out there, you better make sure you know what you're talking about. You better make sure that you absolutely are 100% believe in this and that you are behind it, because you in the next 12 months will be put to the test of whatever this new thing is. So be aware there's this big opportunity for you to shine, for you to influence. So much good can come from this, guys. Whatever it is you're trying to influence, you can influence a lot of people with your ideas, your opinions, and the energy that you put behind this. But whatever it is, if it's a new charity that you're behind, if it's a new organization that you're joining, if it's your own work, if it's literary, and I also feel like it's media related too. And the reason I say that is because it can really influence so many people and so far out there. It makes me feel like there's some media undertone undertones to it. So it could be something that whatever you would do, you get picked up in the newspaper or magazine or even television. So just be aware that you're a big influence, and that's going to happen around April 14th, 15th. Now, there's that Grand Cross, the April 23rd, where there's a lot of change. For you, I feel like it could accept relationships. It could be with your significant other. There could be some power struggles in terms of where you're spending your time or energy versus where they're spending their time and energy. A little bit at odds about what you're going to do or how you're going to do it, and how to kind of like, you're both also seeing the truth about each other. And some of it you're not so happy with, some of it you don't like, may not even like each other around those times. I'm not talking about not loving each other, I'm talking about not liking each other. And so it does feel like problematic. I have a lot of pain in my heart and in my chest. But as far as relationship goes, I just feel like you're going to really see who's got your back. You're going to really see who is on your side of the table. And you also want to be careful with sharing your opinion with too many people, because I feel like your opinion during this time could be taken and land in the wrong camp. It could end up in somebody else's hands that you don't want them to know how you feel. So you want to be really careful about expressing what you say and or how you feel, because it could come back to you in a way that's uncomfortable, in a way that's like, ooh, gee, I wish I wouldn't have said that. So you want to just be careful in what's falling out of your mouth, especially around all month, but really especially around that April 23rd date. April 29th, you've got the new moon solar eclipse. Now that feels like a lot of joy. I feel really relief, like you've survived. But I really feel like an elevation. I really feel like you're something has brought you up. Something is giving you new life and new opportunity and new happiness. Now, as far as financially for you this month, I feel like it's kind of like a meandering all over the place, and then I really feel like this blossoming at the end of the month. So I really feel like great things happening for you financially at the end of the month, Aries. As far as health goes, there may be in the early part of the month, you may be suffering with a little bit of a cold or a little bit of a headache, kind of like sinus symptoms or flu-like symptoms. I feel like it is temporary. I feel like as the month goes on, your energy is going to rebound. You'll get better. And I think that if you've got somebody in your life that's dealing with challenges this month, I do think that, you'll really be able to get to the truth of whatever that is, whatever's going on for them. So you may find that a surgery you did 3 months ago didn't work out, or you may find that the surgery you did 3 months ago was a huge success. So there's a lot of information here also around health and around what to do next or where to go next. You may have to deal with some betrayal or history from the past, with some people that you maybe had dueling swords with, and they've come back into your life or back around, and you have to like face them again. I feel like really all there is to do is kind of like take responsibility, let go of the past, let bygones be bygones. And as you do that, I think you'll just kind of rise above that fray, and you'll really turn it into something minuscule. And it feels like then it just... don't get in there and go tit for tat with them. Don't go in and try to convince them of your point of view or why it was. It'll blow up in your face. It'll make it so much worse. It's just let them think what they think. You know the score. Let it go. Rise above it. I think if you do that this month in relationships, you're going to be much happier. You'll be better off. And your life partners will be very happy that you did that as well. Some of you, I'm seeing a new birth, really giving new birth this month to new ideas, new projects, new understandings. And also there's new spiritual identity and information coming in for you. So you may find yourself really being a little more vocal about your spiritual point of view in this next 12 months. You may find yourself being potentially at the helm of an organization that has spiritual ties to it, whether it's a church, whether it's a metaphysical, whatever it is, whatever the opportunity is. I see that you could become the spokeswoman or man for that particular organization, or even whether it's a fundraiser or whether it's ties or you're starting an organization or it's a person that you believe in. You yourself are going to become pulled into more of a spiritual conversation, and more people are going to see you as a spiritual leader and gain greater understanding about your beliefs, and your life purpose is really going to start to show up. You may get a few glimpses of that in April. I really see it coming into full bloom in the latter part of July. But you're really going to, you're going to kind of be forced to see what it is that you believe spiritually, and then people are going to ask you about it, and then you're going to be out there talking about it. So Aries, I don't know if that's what you had on your goal for this year, but I definitely see you being pushed and pulled in that direction. So, or shaped, I should say, by the cosmos, and moving in that direction. So Aries, have an amazing month. You're all lit up. You're going straight to the top, and I feel this like. It's excitement. It's a little bit of excitement, but it's also kind of like hold on to your hats. And we know you guys are go-getters. If we want something done, you give it to an Aries person, because they don't say no. They don't even know the word no. You just break down every door. So I just want to caution you that the wind is pushing you in the back. So slow down a little bit if you can by staying grounded in your body. It's going to help you with this process, and it's going to keep you from really losing your mind, because so many things are happening, so much is changing all at once. All right, guys, have an amazing month, and let me know how it goes. So if you're a Taurus, April 20th to May 20th, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? So let's tune in and find out. Okay, so right away, Taurus with money. I really feel like you're going to be making some changes with your money. You might be listening to some new individuals. You may see the people that have been handling your money. You may see some additional people. Potentially, it could be that you end up changing out the people that you were using for somebody new, or it could just be that you get some new influence. But there's new influence around your money to help you make more money, and to help you become more informed about your money. So I definitely think, Taurus, this month is, there's a lot of information about money. I have an immediate headache, like right here. So there's a headache with money, and this headache could have something to do also with about where your losses are, or how much money you're spending, or there's information that you didn't know, like, oh my God, I had no idea that I was still being charged for XYZ. I thought I closed that account. Things like that. Or, oh my God, I had no idea that, that interest rate adjusted, and now I'm being charged, 4% higher than what I was last year. Things like that. There's this oh my God moment about your money and about the losses with it. So you want to pay attention and look around and see about things that you were uninformed about your money, because I definitely feel like it's a headache. It has to do with losses. I'm seeing a sieve, money running out. And listen, you're not going to, I don't see you running out of money. I see it more as a situation where you're losing money and you weren't aware of. Okay, and this doesn't have to mean, I don't want you like Henny Penny running, oh my God, the sky is falling. It doesn't feel like it's that. It's just an awareness that you need to have. And it could be even that, if you call up your person who handles your stuff, and you find out that, oh, they're supposed to be collecting rents on your behalf on a property, and they thought you were doing it, and so nobody's collected rent for the last 6 months. Silly things like that aren't so silly, that are expensive, but you didn't know about it, right? So it's not like you were missing the money. So it's something like that. It's something that you've been paying or not receiving. So it's not a death-defying thing here, but it is something that you need to be informed about. Okay, I see that playing a big role in this month and straightening that out, and it's labor intensive. I feel like it's pain in the rear to have to pull and to do out, and then you're dealing with all the relationships of those people and trying to get answers from them and to fix and correct that. Some of you who have had financial challenges in the court system, things like that. If it's coming, I don't know if, and because I feel the losses, it may not go the way that you want to go. Sorry. And if it does go for you, it just may not be as big as what you were expecting. So if somebody is, if you're in the middle of a lawsuit and you're settling and they're supposed to pay you, it just may be that, you know, that you're not getting the real rewards that you were due. You're not getting as much money as is anticipated. And let's hope I'm wrong, because depending on some of your other influences, because this is a general read, because I feel that, as I'm saying that, I don't feel like that's true for all of you. I feel like it's true for a big portion of you, but I feel like there's some of you who have some other stronger influences, whatever your moon sign is. You want to go listen to that, because if your moon, for instance, I'm a Libra, but my moon is in Cancer. So, and the Cancer is, you know, your internal, your insides, that sort of thing. Your external personality is your sun sign. So you want to go look at your moon and listen to the moon sign on here and see if that helps you about this particular situation, because I feel like it's not true for all of you. Now, as far as your health this month, Taurus, I feel like it was declined and I feel like it's coming back. So I feel like some of you may have had some procedures. Some of you may had, you know, anything from, it all feels around the upper body here. It feels like anywhere from neck to teeth to eyes. So it feels like upper respiratory. I feel like the upper part of your body has had some things going on. So when I say upper respiratory, so it could anything from breasts up. I really feel like you could have had some things done, whether it was a breast lift or whether it was a tooth pulled or whether it was something with your jaw. But I feel like there's some different things that have gone on with you, Taurus. None of them feel severe. They just feel like they were, you know, it was time to get it done, whether it was a root canal or whether it was the removal of something you didn't like. Or, you know, if you, God forbid, had, you know, abnormal cells on your face, you had those taken off, whatever. It just feels like these just to-do lists that had to be done. And now I feel you're on the upswing with your health. So I do feel, Taurus, it's a good month for you. There's a lot of fear and worry that you have, Taurus, about your loved ones, about people that you care about their health and about how they are, whether it's a partner or whether it's about a child or a boss or someone like that. Basically, all you can do about this is just to really, you know, you have such fortitude and you have such light and you're such a positive influence in the people's lives that you touch, that's your job. You're just there to bring light. You're there to see the positive side of things. So this month, more than ever, Taurus, you may be called on by those friends and associates for you to be able to be positive with them. And even if you don't believe it, even if you have doubt, let the doubt go. Only say positive things. And I don't mean in an ignorant way, like, you know, to put your head in the sand and to pretend something doesn't exist. It's like, no, it's like, okay, great. If this is what the diagnosis is, go get another opinion. You can be optimistic that way. You can say, go see what another doctor says. Go see if they're in alignment with this other person told you. So you can be inspirational to individuals without putting your head in the sand. Just want you to bring light to the conversation, whatever that means, for the situation, especially in the area of health for those people that you care and love about. Now, some of these influences that we talked about, we have the new moon that starts at the beginning right now of the month, April 1st, and the first couple of days closest to that new moon is where you put in more energy. So effort and time, whatever it is you want to self-correct for yourself. I really feel for you, it's about, you have such long-term vision for yourselves, Aries. I'm sorry, Aries, just called you Aries. It's the energy of Aries, which is coming in here, but Taurus. So really for you, Taurus, it's about looking to see what you want to change, how you want to be different, because change is happening for everybody, so it's always better if you choose it. So what do you want to change about your life? There could be some government influences coming in. I feel like my arm that they're changing, the government's changing the way they're doing things, and so paperwork gets changed. So say somebody, if you're getting a visa or you live here temporarily or another thing, you could expect some problems and or some possible changes about the way that you go in and out of the country and or your movement with things with the government. So you want to be aware that those things might happen. So just double check and triple check those things for yourself. Then there is, in the middle of the month, we have that April 14th, 15th, we have that solar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse that's happening, and that's what they call the blood moon. And those blood moons don't happen very often, and sometimes it's really fiery. It has to do with the planet Mars, which is the warring planet. However, having said that, you really have the ability to kind of like see the point, like you have more than a lot of the other signs. You have the ability to kind of see the point of anything, and you're able to zoom right into that point, get to the point, get in, get out, make your point, get in, get out, or be able to see the point. Don't dwell. This is not a time to dwell in anything that happens around that time. Acceptance. All I can say is just accept whatever it is, accept it, move on, accept and move on, accept and move. Don't get caught up in any of the shenanigans, any of the politics. It's kind of like, because this is definitive. It's not going to change back. If it can be in a lot of different areas too. If it's your lover decides to leave you, okay. If your lover decides that they want to stay and they want to move in and want to get married, these are very definitive things. They're not wishy-washy. You're going to get some truth revealed around that time. I don't want to say, I don't feel like it's shocking for you, Taurus, because you're really, you're really kind of very grounded, and you have a knowing about these things. You just kind of know things, and you kind of know. And so in the back of your mind, whatever sort of shows up, you kind of knew it anyway. And whether it's a child that quits school or leaves a career or decides to leave their family and, say they're married and decide to go through a divorce, or, or a grandson leaves school or anything like that, it's just like, okay, it's just okay. And don't take it to heart. Don't feel bad about them. Don't see it as lost time or anything, but celebrate it, because I tell you what, this is the beginning of the next 12 months of their life. So better that they're in action now and changing now and have a desire for something else so that the real things can really happen. So just pay attention to that, Taurus. Know that there's some great things that are happening for you this month. It's all good. If you look at all these changes as the universe trying to help shape you into being the best self that you can be, it'll be easier for you to accept everything that comes along. Then we've got the Grand Cross of April 23rd, that's where big change can happen. So that's where you may be hearing some more of these dynamics. And then we've got the new solar eclipse on April 29th. And for you, it really feels like you may find yourself really traveling and going far away towards that time. In other words, you may find yourself traveling overseas. You may find yourself, if a long way to you is going to a different state, you may find yourself going to a different state. So it feels like a travel is involved, and it feels like it's new travel, potentially to a place you haven't been to for a long time, or in a new way. So if maybe you usually travel by car, you would now maybe be going by plane. Things like that. So traveling in a different way and or to a different location. So it's new, it's fun, it's exhilarating, it's exciting. So you're going to end the month on a high note, Taurus. It feels really good. Not that in between isn't. It's just more it's just more matter of fact. And I see it kind of like like snow skiing, where you're going down those moguls and you're doing the moguls and your knees are bumping, but your upper body's loose. You got this. You'll be fine. It's all good, Taurus. Have an amazing month, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. Hi, if you're a Gemini, born May 21st or to June 20th, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, Gemini, I see you really excited. I see you like getting a goal, whatever it is. I see you winning. If you're in some sort of competition or something like that, I see you've got a trophy in hand and you're excited. You're pumped up. It's really great. It's good things. The month of April is really exhilarating. I see, that your nose has been to the grindstone. You've been really focused, really proficient at accomplishing something, and it's going to pay off this month. So whether you've been, trying to get your master's, you've been trying to write a paper, you've been trying to finalize something, or you've been planning a wedding and down to the finest detail, or an amazing vacation, or you've been exercising like crazy and whittling those pounds off, or whatever it is, I see you victorious this month. Very happy, very exciting. For you Geminis, there's also... there's the bittersweet. There's like, you're really happy, but then you've got that other side of the Gemini who's sitting there going, but I didn't do it like this, or I didn't do it that way. It's like, just be happy. I see you critiquing yourself, like you're really hard on yourself, Gemini. So this month, really just allow yourself to appreciate how far you've come and the work that you've done. Let's look at some of in particular, the cosmic events that are happening this month with the new moon that starts April 1st. So right away with the new moon, the most powerful point of the new moon is the first 24 hours around April 1st, from sundown to sun up on the 2nd. And then the days that follow. So you want to be putting a lot of energy, actions into whatever it is your goals are for this next 12 months, right? So look and see, what do you want to accomplish in the next 12 months? And then you want to put some energy into that. If it's moving, you want to maybe make some phone calls to a realtor. If it's getting a new job, maybe make some phone calls to some people that, even if you have no intention of leaving your job right now, but you're just gathering information, it's kind of like sending the pigeon, the bird out there with a message, and then it'll come back to you at the right and perfect timing. So you're just doing some groundwork, creating some infrastructure for yourself for the next 12 months in these next couple of days. Then we have a new moon, or rather the full moon lunar eclipse on what we call the blood moon on April 14th, or some astrologers are saying April 15th, so that 24-hour period. What you want to do then is be quiet. You want to really kind of like not engage with whatever's going on around you, whatever the fireworks are, whatever the disappointments. There's going to be some challenges for some people. There's people close to you. I don't necessarily feel them so much for you, but I feel them for people close to you. There could be the death of somebody's dream that's close to you, not your dream, but somebody else has had a dream, and or it's big change, and because it's affecting someone that you love, it affects you. So I feel you being sad more for someone else than for yourself. So just be aware that these big changes that are happening, they could also be around relationships. It could be that people don't want to be in relationship anymore, or that they've discovered something about you or something about them. Now remember, these eclipses reveal the truth. So it may be that all of a sudden you get really clear about your relationship. You get really clear about your relationship with yourself. You get really clear about the relationships that you're in, whether you want to continue to work with that person, or whether you want to continue to live with that person, or whether you want to continue to share an apartment with that individual. You start to get really clear, and eclipses bring the energy to it for this clarity for ourselves. So for you, it feels like it's around your living circumstances. It also feels like around your heart area. And then your health, Geminis. Again, I feel like you need to be patient, Gemini. I feel like all in all, you've got great health, but I do feel like you are your own worst enemy. So if you're not feeling so great, you may want to look at your diet. Or are you abusing things? Are you abusing drugs or alcohol? Are you abusing food? I think that everything that you have here is in your hands. So you have the ability to make changes this month for your entire 12 months. And I see you especially being able to overcome some old anxieties and fears. You actually feel calmer to me, Gemini. I know in the past, sometimes I get in your energy and I feel really frenetic. But this month I feel really kind of strong. I really feel open. And I really feel like there's opportunity. So, and I think you're seeing some changes that are good for yourself. There may have been some confusion, some disappointments about the way people that you looked up to and admired and the way they reacted. And so you may have some disappointment with some people that are close to you that sort of have fallen off the pedestal for you. And you're disappointed in something they did or they didn't do. And I think you're going to get that cleaned up a little bit this month, where either you're able to speak to them directly, or you're able to just kind of let it go and then choose again to either honor them or to see them as human, whereas maybe before you didn't see them as human, you saw them infallible. So there's something around that, Gemini, for you, a grieving. When we put people on pedestals and then they fall and they disappoint us, is it their fault? Did they ask to be put on the pedestal? Is it our doing because we were blinded to, some of the attributes that we wanted to give them, and we didn't see them as somebody that could fail us or hurt us or break our heart? So you're getting a dose of reality that the people around you are fallible, that they can make mistakes, they can be human. And that's a hard lesson to get, especially when it comes from a person that you didn't expect, when you totally thought there was, you know, you were being straight up and honest and somebody was honest with you, and then that hurts. So just be aware there may be some secrets that are revealed that you are surprised about, or you may already know about them, and now you're dealing with the aftermath of them and needing to choose whether or not you're going to choose to be at their side, stand by them, and even though they're taking the right action in your mind or not, you can choose to still be a kindred spirit with them or not. So I feel like that's a big challenge that's going to be happening for you this month, Gemini. At the end of the month, we have, well, we have that Grand Cross, April 23rd, where those 4 signs meet. Those are turning points. I think that whatever decisions you're making about relationships and things are going to come, you're going to have that. You're going to see that shortly after that time. And then by April 29th, there's a new moon solar eclipse. And then I see that's where you're kind of putting your bets on the table. You know what you want to do. You know where you want to go. And I feel really relieved. I feel relieved. I feel happy. I feel like I've chosen wisely. I feel really smart. And more than anything, I feel like you've really survived and you've really gained an edge of understanding. And you've become stronger internally because of whatever you've gone through. And I don't see any bitterness. I don't see any frustration or anger about whatever you've had to go through or learn or understand about those closest to you. And it really feels like a gratitude coming in that you know, you kind of know, you know everything. You have a greater appreciation and understanding. So this month, the message for you, Gemini, is don't make anything mean anything. Don't add any added meaning. If somebody comes to you and discloses a secret to you, don't add anything to it. Just observe it. Just recognize it for what it is. Honor it, and just realize that you don't know the whole situation either. You don't know the whole scenario as to what caused them to do these things or not. So anyway, just be aware there might be some hiccups there in personal relationships for you. Final thing for you guys with money, Geminis. I feel like you've been spending it faster than it comes in. In this month, it feels like you're going to have to really figure out something new. So some of you may lose a job. Some of you may be notified or be put on notice that you're losing a job, or a source of income is going to be diminished, and or if not, then you just find out that your expenses go up. You know, God forbid, maybe you have to trade in a car, or a car breaks down, or all of a sudden you're paying on college loans or something. So there's these, but here's the good thing. I do think that you're going to get a solution. You're going to get something that comes in that's going to fix it for you. So you'll be able to fix whatever it is that's going in. And that happens, that could even come in around that turning point time of April 23rd. And for sure, by the end of the month, you're going to get the solution to being able to make more money. So the good news is you're not going to be left hanging. You're going to really, whatever it is you're discovered, you're going to get the solutions by the end of the month. So this is very bang, 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 very quick. Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. Now, the problem is you may see the solution, but then it may take you 6 months or 9 months or a year then to pay that off, or to really get it to the level that you want it. So you'll be given all the pieces, but it's going to take a while then to get those pieces of that money coming back to you if it's a money thing. All right, Gemini. So have an amazing month. Very exciting times for you. Lots of changes, lots of insights, lots of understanding. But you're in a really good place. My mouth is watering in your energy because you're so excited and you're so enthused about life. It's really a good thing. So look at this month as welcome all these opportunities, this injection of light and information and energy into your life, and just know that you can handle it, and you will far supersede your own expectations about what you can do and how you can do it. Because I want to end with the same way I started with you guys, which was I saw you holding something like you had won something. So whatever it is you're after, you are going to win it. So just stick to it, stay focused, and the month of April is yours. Have a great month. So if you're a Cancer born June 21st to July 22nd, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so right away, Cancer. I feel, gosh, I feel this ache in the back of my hamstrings, and I really feel like it's a lot of fear. My toes are cold, my feet are cold, so I really feel that you, more than other signs, really are a little anxious about this month, and you don't need to be anxious. You really just need to be able to relax and just really realize that, what's going to happen this month is you're going to get the answers that you've been looking for. You're really going to, nobody wants to be kept in the dark, and especially you, Cancers. I know that you're ready to hear the truth, and you're ready to know what's going on for you. And so this month is going to be a lot of information coming into you that's going to have you deal with the present moment. So some of you Cancers will definitely be moving. You're going to be finding, not possibly, maybe not this month, but you'll be notified. Maybe your landlord is, not renewing your lease, or it could be potentially that that the house has been sold that you're living in, or that you're, on a good note, it could be that you're hired across the country and you're going to be moving for a job, or your partner's going to be moving for a job or career. Nonetheless, I feel like there's information coming in about you physically moving. I also feel ungrounded in your energy, so it's pulling me up and out and pulling me someplace. The good news is for you Cancers is that you have the ability to be able to be sensitive about where other people are at and what they're thinking and are feeling. So your job first and foremost is to reassure yourself that these are all good things, because they are good things. These are things that are clearing out the old, waking you up to what's new. And even though you're sensitive, you're really going to be able to see in a few more months why they're good things. Now, I feel like some of you have this slow burn anger about it, that it's out of your control, that, your husband has put his foot down, said he's taken the job, and he doesn't care that you have to move away from your family, and you're upset, So maybe not everybody around you is being sensitive to you, or being sensitive to your children's needs, or to the things that are important to you. So, this is a fiery month then to deal with some of those particulars. We have that full moon lunar eclipse, April 14th, April 15th, and in which a lot of this information will come up. And then we also have that Grand Cross, April 23rd, which is the change, implementing change, the turning points. So it could be the best thing for you this month is to surrender. Just keep letting go, Cancer. Keep letting go. Keep trusting. Accept whatever's coming your way. Accept. So accept whatever's coming your way. Whatever portion is allotted to you, be grateful for it. Because my sense is that you go along with it. Things are just going to get better and better and better. It's kind of like if you're afraid to go down that water slide and you're holding, pushing, there's just this more buildup behind you, and then you're likely to go tumbling down instead of just enjoying the slide, right? So if you just let go and you go with it, you'll get through it faster, you'll get happier, you'll get to where you need to be faster, and people around you are going to appreciate that, and I think you'll be rewarded for it too. Now, as far as money goes for you, Cancer, it feels like it's about on the way it's been. I do think that there's some big things that come in terms of like your mind. In other words, you could get like $1 million idea. You could get, if you're a songwriter, you could hit upon a great song. If you're a playwright, you could write a great script. It's one of these things. It's like, it feels like it's creative, it feels like it's tangible, and it feels like you could have a great idea that makes you money this month. So Cancer, pay attention to the ideas that you have. Whether you're writing a book or a novel or anything like that, I feel like that's going to get tied up and nice and neat this month. So stay focused on that. Use these energy points to bring the truth out, to simplify things, to make it real for you, and to make it palatable for those around you. So I feel like there's some opportunities also for you to speak up, for you to share some things that you haven't shared. So some of you may have been holding back some truths from people you love, especially in relationships, Cancer. You may have been, I don't want to say lying, but you not exactly told the truth. And I think you're going to be focused on, or forced to tell this. So this could be something, whether if you're married and you're dating someone and then now you tell them you're married, it's secrets, it's things like that. Or that you're moving and you haven't told them that you're moving. It could be that you're pregnant, you haven't told them you're pregnant. All these like kind of big life events that are secrets that you haven't really revealed to people around you that you'll be revealing. So And if you don't, here's the thing about eclipses. If you don't tell them, somebody else will. Secrets have find a way of getting out, and it can be just by a doctor's office calling and leaving a voicemail, and your boyfriend picking up your voicemail and getting the message, right? Believe me, when things are meant to be found out, the universe has a way to get them out there, and that's what these eclipses are for. It's about bringing the truth out and sending energy rushing in to really bring it up. So this is why it can be like such a shocking month. Then we have the Grand Cross on April 23rd, which is where those turning points can happen. So Cancer, you could find there's new information coming in for you around that time. And I see part of it could be have to do with clothing. It could be with the way that you choose. All of a sudden you could find yourself creating a whole new wardrobe, a whole new look for yourself. So it could be a turning point with the way in which you look or the way in which you present yourself. You could find yourself getting new headshots. You know, if you're out there in the world, and you could find that you want to cut your hair. You could find that you want to change your makeup. So it's about the way you present yourself. So you may find a turning point with the way that you want to be seen in the world, and the way that you want to speak, and the way that you want others to emulate you. So just be aware that there's some big turning points for you. There's a new moon solar eclipse on April 29th. And for you, that could also mean about finalizing things, sewing things up in a way, shape, or form that you want it the way you want it, not the way somebody else wants it. So you get the final touches, you get the final say in things that are important to you, and people are listening. So I also feel that that's something new for you, and that people want to hear what you have to say. They're interested in what you have to say, and so part of what you need to do now is kind of hone that truth and be sure that what you say is authentic and that you believe it, because I feel like you are sensitive and you have a good opportunity to connect with people and meet them at the heart, and help them in a way that you haven't maybe received help yourself. So, out of pain is always born something new, a gift that we're able to reveal and give to others through our own struggles. So some of these struggles, for you, you're going to see that in the scheme of things, they're not that big. In the scheme of things, they're not bad. In the scheme of things, they're necessary for you to be able to get to the next level of life to really enjoy. Overall, for you, Cancer, I feel a little bit nervous for you this month, only in that that's your nature to be nervous. So as you let go of that nervous energy, Cancer, it's just self-acceptance, accepting who you are, accepting where you are, accepting where you're going. And then your friends are going to accept it or not. They're either going to say, yeah, I'm with you, or geez, why didn't you tell me sooner, or God, that sucks. And then there is nothing for you to do, not feel bad about how they're reacting or not reacting to your news, and just to go with the flow. And I think, Cancer, if you do that, you're going to be happy, you're going to be less anxious, and you're going to feel more in control. And that's one of the things that you may feel a little frustrated with this month, is that initially, the first 2 weeks of the month, I feel like it's pretty much the same. This for you, like just the same routine, focused, and that sort of thing. The last 2 weeks feel a little more like topsy-turvy, a little bit like crazy energy, and a little bit like you're in the wash machine and get me out of this place. But the good news is when you get out, you're fresh and clean, and it's really good. So whatever the kind of topsy-turvy is of the last 2 weeks of the month, it's going to be good stuff for you. You're going to be happy that it happened. You're going to have greater understanding about it, and people are still going to love you. So we know that's all what it's about, right? All right, Cancers, thank you so much. Have an amazing month of April, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. If you're a Leo, born July 23rd to August 22nd, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so right away, Leo, I see, you are so focused, man. Your eye is right on the ball. You know exactly what you want. You know what to do. You see this thing, and it's like ink that's been dumped on a paper. It just spreads and grows. So whatever you focus on, it is really going to grow in a big way, in a very woohoo way. I feel really excited for you, Leos. So right away, I see in the beginning of the month, change. immediately, and but in a really positive way. So for Leos, some of you may have already like shifted gears and moved, and you're already on a new path, and you're already maybe co-creating with another business, or maybe you've recently been hired for a certain project, or maybe you've got a new career in somehow the fashion world, or in communications, or computers. I see, you know, kind of like both brainy and yet very communicative and very expert oriented. So whatever it is that your area of expertise is, I really feel like you're going to get some great support this month from that. There may be some opportunities around the middle of the month, around that April 14th, April 15th, where you may be picked out of the crowd. You may be handpicked by somebody that says, I want to work with you. I want to promote you. I want to support you. Will you come to work for me? So some great, amazing opportunity. It could be that if you're a student, maybe you're picked to be on a special debate team or a special research team. If you're somebody who's in business, maybe you know, you've got some award or some magazine has picked up your article. There's this, and it's big. It's like out in the world, so it's like you're picked, and then you're put out there. So somebody promoting you, your work, your ideas, or a collaboration of you with somebody else who was already out in the world, and to get it out there. So really good stuff for you around that blood moon, April 14th, April 15th. Now we have that grand cross around April 23rd, where we have two opposing things. The opposition almost feels like it could be two opportunities that are pulling at you. You're being pulled two ways. And you could really, it's almost like a life path. You could see yourself going this way, very happy and very comfortable, and you could see yourself going this way, very happy, very comfortable. But you can't marry these two. Like they aren't together. They don't come together. And whether you're a guy in between two women, or whether you're a woman between two men, or whether it's two careers, that your lovers are careers, two business paths, or two different loves, your job is, you know, when we're confused or we don't know which way to go, you let the universe serve it up for you, and so that the truth is really revealed. And I really think that by the end of the month, April 29th, that new moon solar eclipse is really going to show you what's real. You may see that whatever showed up around the 14th or the 15th, that maybe that wasn't real, maybe that was all BS. Maybe it was just the truth wasn't really there, or it gets put off to a later date. Or it could be that, yeah, and they're asking a lot of you, and they're asking you to uproot your family and to move, and that you don't know that you want to do that. So big decisions this month, especially around your career and where you move. Like, I almost feel like it's a double whammy for you guys. It's very good for you. And the movement may also be, it could just be that it's as simple as, I don't want to live in this apartment anymore, and I want to move across town, or I want to move closer, you know, to so-and-so. Or that you're living in an environment where there's a whole bunch of people. Maybe you're in a house with 6 people, and it's like, it's way too frenetic. I don't like this anymore. I want to go live on my own. So it could be something like that, right? So it's simple things depending on where you're at in your life. It could be that it's a money issue, and that you're trying to downgrade, and you want to have a smaller home or a smaller place to be. And that's going to be presented as well. So for Leos, lots of opportunity for change for you. As far as your money goes, it feels like there's consistency with it. It feels like there's consistency with it. It feels like, you know, maybe you've been a little sick. Maybe it hasn't been going well the last couple of years. But the good news is I start to feel you're going to get stronger these next 3 months. I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, you're kind of finessing and tinkering with your gift and with your ability to make money, and you're going to start to see more money coming in, more opportunities to make money, especially in these next couple of months. There's also something new and colorful that comes in for you around that April 23rd, when there's big change that's happening. It feels like there's an opportunity for you to make some money in a different way, and or a unique way that you hadn't had before. It could even be that you could receive some gift money, or it could be in the form of products. It could be in the form of somebody offers you a free massage, or a free trip someplace. I mean, it feels like it's freebies to me. It doesn't feel like it costs you anything. It feels like it's on somebody else's dime or on somebody else's time that gives you this opportunity. So it actually feels like a good thing. But it does create a turning point for you in that if you go do that, there's some other people that are going to be upset with you or disappointed with you or not happy with you. And so it could mean the beginning of the end of a relationship. So there could be some things that you decide this month that if you do it, some people around you aren't going to like the decisions you've made and therefore are going to fire you, are going to stop dating you, or are going to cut you off with your allowance. So there are some turning points about some of your actions this month that if you take it, the people in your life that are telling you, don't do that, I don't want you to do that, and if you do it, they mean business. In the past, you may have been able to use your charisma to overcome it, but this definitely feels like some of the actions that you make could create severing to the past. And maybe some of you want that. Maybe you're really done and you're really done with the past and you need it to be severed for you. So if that's the case, you should be really happy about it. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I just see it as truth. I just see it as some finality for some of you. For some of you, it also maybe just be a finality of like, yeah, I'm done being single. I want to get married. I'm excited. And you get engaged. So these are some good things too, okay? So I'm not just saying this is a downer. But these are some really good things. It could also be like, yeah, I'm done working there. I'm going out on my own and I've got the money. So you feel the excitement. You feel the buildup. So some of these things are really good. And they don't necessarily need to be bad. So remember, our consciousness is what's shaping and giving us our ability to take advantage of these windows of time. So you want to be able to use your consciousness to look at the positive things. Ask the right question. Ask a positive question so the universe can give you the positive response. You know, where is the location I should live? Or what is the best way for me to move forward in this relationship? Or what career should I be putting my intention to? You ask these questions, you're going to start to get signs around you. Things are going to show up and people are going to show up around you that it's going to give you the clues to what you need to do if you don't know. Most Leos have a great sense of timing. Most Leos have a great sense of what they want to do. If anything, it's narrowing down the choices because you guys are so gifted and you have so many opportunities and so many people can come to you because they're drawn to your energy that it makes it hard to choose. So this month, sorry, a lot of you have it in your throat because you don't want to pick the wrong thing. So this month, the good news is the universe is going to help you make those decisions. They're going to help you sever the ties. They're going to give you the energy to put you at the right place at the right time under the right circumstances with the right people to be able to have the right thoughts and the right actions for your life. So for you, Leo, any changes that happen for you is like, thank goodness, it's all good. So enjoy yourselves, Leo. You've got a big month, a blockbuster month happening for you. You're going to see other people where I see are spinning out of control and you're going to be able to pull them up and set them down and help them out. Not the case with you. With you, it's very methodical, you're focused, and you just see that focus growing and things are really going to happen for you this month, Leo. So have an amazing month, enjoy it, and know that you've earned it. You've worked really hard. Great job. And I'll connect with you again next month. Hi, if you're a Virgo, born August 23rd to September 22nd, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Well, I see April beginning very busy, very, there's an opportunity for you to be busy with busyness. So all I can say is to be busy with busyness. So whatever keeps you busy, you'll be busy doing those things, right? So there's a lot of busyness around you, Virgo, if you want to be. Other Virgos I see kind of stagnant, dead in the water, just exhausted, needing a wind to pick them up and to move them. And I think, you know, if you're that Virgo who's feeling dead in the water, exhausted and tired, I think that you're really going to see some positive movement for you these first couple of months, these first couple of days. And first of all, Virgo, whatever you've gone through, whatever losses you've suffered, whether it's relationships or loved ones or financial or work or career, you're not alone. And the way the universe works is that you have to begin with helping yourself. And one of the things that you want to do by helping yourself is just right thought, right action, right? So you want to start to have the thoughts that if I had the energy, if I had the time, if I had the money, wherever the lack is, if you can kind of disconnect from that lack and imagine that if you had that, what would you do? Who would you call? Who would you go see? What person would you take out to dinner, or what person brain would you pick to help you in whatever situation that you have right now? So Virgo, I want you to think positive, and I want you to reach out and to really start to become proactive for yourself. You know, Virgos, you're so tenderhearted. You're so good at helping so many people. And most of you really have an ability to be able to get organized, really have an ability to be fluid in the world and in life. And when you get stuck, man, Virgos, when you're stuck, the whole world's stuck, because we rely on you guys. We rely you know, you're like the oil that makes the wheel move. So we need you to make yourself move. We need you to get yourself through whatever's going through and whatever you're going through. So it could be that the right and perfect relationships are right around the corner that are here to help you. But if you don't reach out and say, hey, I need a little help, or I'm emotionally down, I need some support, people won't know, because they're so used to you having it together and so used to you not needing anybody, that unless you open your mouth, people may not come to the rescue. And I don't even want to say come to the rescue, but may not come to your aid, or come to recognize the fact that you need a little extra assistance. Now, as far as money goes for you, Virgos, I feel like you're golden. In fact, if anything, I feel like you've got money coming in. I feel like there's an influx of money coming in for you. There could be something that is hung up, or a portion of money that's coming into you. Say you sold a property or a estate situation. There could be something that is hung up a little bit temporarily for you, and then it's kind of released by the end of the month. So whatever gets hung up, or projection, it could even be too that an extra portion or additional portion of proceeds is taken from you by mistake, and you have to kind of go back and fight for it. So hopefully that won't be the case, but if it is, you'll get it. It just may be a little bit of delay in getting some of the money. So just be aware that if there's some delays with your money, you do get it, and it will happen. Now, some of you, I don't know if you've been nursing a sore throat, or have some sort of a sore throat, or it's just straining to be heard, but I can really feel this tension in my throat and in the back of my neck. So for you guys, it's really about letting go and grieving whatever's there for you, whatever didn't come to fruition that you had anticipated and or expected. It's about letting go. Some of you may be grieving careers that you've left. Maybe it could even be that you've graduated from college and you miss that. You miss the camaraderie, you miss the teachers, you miss the just the repetition of knowing what you were going to do every day. So there's a lot of things, a lot of change. Some of you may have a big move in mind. There's different things that are happening for you that it's time for you to kind of look and get creative about what you want. So the biggest thing I feel for you, Virgos, is that you are the one that's going to really create your own reality, and that you have the ability to do that, but you're going to have to stand up and be heard and make yourself known to other people. So if you do that, it's like a magnetic force. Immediately, everything rushes into you. So your job, Virgo, is to stand up and to be able to say, this is what I want for myself. This is what I want to do. And then magically, you're going to start to ignite and attract those like-minded people. Now, we know that from spiritual consciousness anyway, that the universal law, that's what happens. However, in this month, because of all these eclipses that were happening, which is really revealing the truth, you're going to find that like-minded person might be right in your same community or right in your own hometown, but now you're being brought together and being married together for the greater good of whatever it is you want to create. So just be aware that these things are within arm's reach and they're very close to you, but the only way you discover it is if you stand up and speak up. Okay. Now there is, we have the new moon on April 1st, which is, really important because you always want to inject your new ideas. And this April 1st is more important than others because it creates the next 12 months of your life. So this particular 24-hour cycle from April 1st, from sundown to sunup, is creating your next 12 months. So you really want to be able to make sure that the next couple of days you're injecting your time, effort, and energy in things where you want to see your energy grow. What do you want to be doing? Where do you want your next 12 months to look like? Who are the people you want to be playing with and participating with? Get on the phone with them, create and celebrate so that you have that assurance that you're injecting that into the energy of the universe so those things can manifest much faster for you. Now, as far as your health goes, Virgo, there may be a little digestive issue that you've kind of got going on, and it feels like it's just old funky stuff. Maybe your diet's not been great lately, or maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself in the way that you have just because you're tired. But I feel a little run down. I feel a little tired in your energy. And some Virgos are just the opposite. You never slow down. And because you never slow down, you're like, what is she talking about? I feel great. But if you were to slow down, you may notice that your body is a little heavy or a little tired. So don't worry about it. It's just take notice, and so that you can pace yourself and that you can really give yourself the nutrients and the vitamins that you need to support yourself. Now, Virgos, as far as physical relationships go with you, so if you're in a romantic relationship, Virgo, okay. So I'm seeing it's kind of like this. Remember how I said it's kind of like the ball's in your court. It's what you want to have happen. You need to speak up. If you want a relationship, I think that the universe can deliver on that in the next couple of months. It's really about you just saying, I want to be in a relationship. I want a like-minded soulmate partnership. I want to get married, or I want to be able to, whatever the relationship is, or I need a business partner, whatever the type of relationship that you need, I think the universe can deliver it on it. So I think it's up to you. Now, if you're in a relationship already, I see some strings dangling, and those things there's some strings attached then to these relationships. I think you're going to get clear about the type of relationship you want to be in and whether or not this person fits the bill or not. So I really feel like you'll be getting clear with these relationships if you're already in a relationship. I don't really necessarily see you breaking up. I see you more getting clear about what works for you, what works for him, or what works for your partner in that way. So I see relationships getting cleaned up and understood. So you're getting rid of those loose ends. Okay? All right, and then we're moving to, we have the Grand Cross on April 23rd, and that's where turning points in your life, and you may find that in particular around turning points in your life where you're recognizing maybe who's closest to you, what relationships are you, what relationships you value, and you may find yourself creating more longevity with people that you love, and really starting to look and see there may be people in your life that are moving, or there may be people in life that you value and that you love, and you find out some things about them that potentially they could be moving away, or potentially moving towards you. So there's some changing around relationships with you around that April 23rd. And then April 29th, the new moon solar eclipse. This feels like it's all about you. It feels like I look good, I feel good. You may revamp your wardrobe. You may take on a new persona. You may wake up to who you are and what you have to offer, and in a way that puts you out in the world a little bit different. And I do see you using some of the information that you've learned about yourself in this last 2-year cycle. I see you sharing more willingly with people about that. I see you being able to expose yourself a little bit more. I see you more willing to share your heart and survive. I see you being less mechanical and more heart-centered. When we undergo stress and big changes, we almost, start to get very mechanical about it, because you can only take so much, right? And so I see some of that being ripped off, where you're going to start to be feeling a little bit more. And for some of you, that is really painful because you haven't allowed yourself to feel. So for some of you, you may be going into new therapy, or you may be introducing yourself into some new form of communication, or something that forces you to communicate more and forces you to let go of the past and embrace the new. So this is all good. So even though it's sometimes painful when we let go of the sadness and the grief of the things that have hurt us in the past, it's also a new opportunity for us to shine. So Virgos, congratulations. You have a huge month ahead of you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you just have to take the initiative, let the universe know you're alive and kicking and you're well, and what you want it to look like. And you're going to see and do and produce very fast, wonderful, and amazing results. So I sure hope that you let me know what they are and that you keep in touch, and I will connect with you again next month with star signs. So if you're a Libra, born September 23rd to October 22nd, what can you expect in the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so Libra, you're all about the scales, you're all about justice, but you're going to throw that out this month. You're really not going to, I see you not judging things so much. I just see you kind of taking it at face value, which is really good for you. It's really good for anybody to be able to have the ability to do that. So I see you really being able just to take things at face value. And as they come in, it's just, I see you being able to have great appreciation and great understanding. Now, the first beginning of the month here is where you want to plant all your seeds. You're going to see some positive influence show up around April 3rd. Really fun time, really exciting time. I feel like a lot of joy and just really relaxation. So these first couple of days of April, I really feel like fast-paced, but fun and relaxation and joy. So a lot of joy April 3rd, April 4th. Good opportunities, good fun. As you move further into April, I'm seeing your hair sort of stand on end. What is that about? It's about it's just kind of like your fingers in the socket. Like there's a lot to do, a lot of energy coming at you, a lot of energy coming in, a lot of demands being placed on you, and also some miscommunications are going to have to get cleaned up. It feels like there's some miscommunications. He said, she said. Don't get into it. It's just like, let's just move on from here. Let's just, okay. So now what do? Let's just get resolution. Just if you stay focused on resolution, whatever that full moon lunar eclipse is, that makes you feel like you get hit in the stomach, April 14th, April 15th, it's just misinterpretations. And it could be someone close to you. It could be a close friend. It could be, so you want to be careful out of your eagerness that you're not stepping on somebody's toes or stealing someone else's thunder. You want to make sure that if there's communication, that the right person is delivering the communication and that you don't jump in and reveal somebody else's truth for them on their behalf, right? So you want to be careful that you're only revealing things about yourself and not about somebody else, okay? So, because I feel like there could be some miscommunication around April 14th, April 15th, around that. Then we have the Grand Cross, April 23rd, which is the four opposing signs, those planetary actions, those planets, those four planets that then create change. I see you on a plane, like just like gone, like unexpectedly gone. April 23rd, like just gone, and not for a long time. It just feels like, I mean, it feels like a couple days, like 4 days, like just gone. But it's setting up a new pattern. It's setting up a new pattern of gone. So you could start a new career where you're traveling. It could be something where you're a spokesperson. It could be something, but you're needed and it's proactive and it's really good for you. Like they're just showing me this big light behind you or above your head. So you're in the spotlight. So that's good. So you're in the spotlight and it's good. But I just see April 23rd like this, up and gone. And that could create some friction for people around you who are like, what do you mean you're quitting? Or what do you mean you're leaving? Or what do you mean you're going? So kind of like, if you're the glue that holds everything together, everything else around you falls apart, right? So you got to be aware that these sudden shifts are going to happen. They're good for you. They're good for the family. They're good for your initiative of who you are and what you want to do. But change, some people don't like change. Change can be challenging. And some people can see change as impractical. Well, that doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like that. But that's just kind of, it's the old way going out. It's the people who like to write letters. Well, I like to write handwritten notes. I don't like the computer. I don't want to send an email. I want to do a handwritten note. Okay, so you just see the delivery. The delivery is not going to be there, right? With a handwritten note, it's taking 5 days. You can send an email and get there right away. So this thing around April 23rd has to do with the speed at which you're moving and the speed at which you're communicating, which is why you need to travel, which is why whatever is going on around that period has to happen, because it has to get there faster. And the way that you're doing it now is not fast enough. So whatever it is that you're growing or whatever it is you're trying to do, the universe is trying to help you get a message out and trying to help it grow and for you to become prolific at it. But it cannot happen at the rate that it was going. It has to speed up, and therefore we have to pick you up and move you and put you someplace else so it can happen faster. Okay? So that's part of the reason you're going, and your family and people around you aren't going to be so happy about it. There's going to be, you know, disappointment, because it's kind of like domino effect. When this happens, like all the other dominoes go. Now this new moon solar eclipse on April 29th, it's going to be comforting for you. I see it as a real comfort for you, this thing that happens around so there's going to be things of comfort. So maybe it's just that you get a weekend with your family, or that family comes to visit you, but there's this level of comfort. And I don't see it as a disappointment. I see it, you know, the way I could, okay. So in all honesty, I saw you sucking your thumb, right? So either one of two things. Either it's very self-soothing, and you have to soothe yourself, or you learn to soothe yourself. We could interpret that like, something bad happened, you were crying like a baby, and now you're sucking your thumb. I don't like that interpretation. I like it more that it's self-soothing, that you're soothing yourself, that you have a soothing environment. So whatever was going on, whether the frenetic energy of all these changes, you now kind of get to relax, and you get a more soothing atmosphere. Everything becomes calm, and things now become more to everybody's liking. Everybody knows the score. This is how it's going to be, and we just have to accept it. So this whole month is about revealing the truth and accepting. So it's all good. Now, as far as your money goes, this is nice. I'm just seeing it going up, like up, but up through the roof. So up through the roof in a good way. So that's really good. So I'm really seeing money kind of really go through the roof in a good way, and it coming in. So that's a positive thing. So you're going to start to see an uptick in your money. You're going to start to see an increase in your value, or people valuing yourself more. As far as your relationships go, they're going to be a little rocky. They're going to be a little, you know, until you can smooth things out just through communication. It's really temporary. But, you know, less is more, having compassion. And you guys are so good, Libra, by just kind of like, you have so much empathy that it's very easy for you to kind of see what works and what doesn't work. So just have that awareness, have empathy, and be simple, right? Just be simple this month. Don't use a lot of words. Really kind of use, you know, physical contact if you can, by reaching out and touching somebody, or looking in their eyes, or being generous, sending them a card or an email. But really, don't try and solve anybody's problem this month. It really feels like nothing's wrong. Everybody's going through whatever upheaval they're going through. And if you can see it from that spiritual concept, Libra, that everybody is going through not a death, but a rebirth, and that all the kind of like whining, moaning, I don't want to, whatever, that you're seeing around you, because you can be so sensitive and you're always trying to like balance everything. And then you just see it as like a woman in labor giving birth, and the joy that comes with having this new baby, that whatever is going around you, or your family or other people, that whining or that upset or whatever, is just like, yeah, you know, just cheer them on. Yeah, I know it hurts right now, but it's going to be good, you know, just like a woman in labor. So see everything not as a death, not if you're moving, not the end of the world. If your kid has to change schools, not the end of the world. It's a rebirth. And that you hear whatever cries or moans or upset that they have as a rebirth, and then that will give you a greater ability just to be with them and have compassion wherever they're at, and not have to go in and fix it or try and make it better for them. Because then honestly, you can't. And the more you kind of get in there, tinker with it, the more irritated they're going to become with you. So just accept whatever emotion is there this month and just allow it to be. And you'll be much happier, and so will the people around you, because they'll get through it faster. As far as your health goes, see, you could have some sinus stuff go on. So you really want to take optimal care of your health. Want to make sure that you pace yourself. I'm a little bit like out of breath. If some of you are depleted, make sure that you're taking the right, you know, supplements right now, you know, vitamin C or adrenal health or whatever it is that you need. If you don't know, then you should get on the phone and find out about that. So you ensure that you're feeling good and you're at your utmost. Because I feel like it's almost like you're going to go climb Mount Everest. Mount Interest. Oh, that's interesting. Mount Everest, right? Because it is something that you have interest in. It's something that's exciting, and it's something big. And you're going to be scaling this. You're going up, right? So you're going up in the world. And, you know, whenever you go up, people can see you. You're more visible, right? So whatever this is just going to be more visible. You're going up in the world. You're climbing up in the world. You're going to become more visible. So you want to feel better. You want to feel good about how you look. You want to make sure that you're in good health. You want to make sure that you kind of watch what you say because you're being watched, right? So just be aware that all eyes are on you this month, which is really good, and not in an ego way. You know, really, it would be good for us if we all went through life like this, that, you know, remember those "What Would Jesus Do?" those bracelets, you know, and people would wear them as a reminder that if he were standing at your side, what would you do? It's more that kind of energy. You know, how you're going to act, the way that you want to be perceived in the world. You're going to have a good opportunity this month to kind of shape shift yourself in that manner, and people are going to love you. And so and if they don't, just love them back. It's okay, right? It's okay. Because there's nothing wrong. So when we come from that space that there's nothing wrong, even when we meet an opposing force like is possible around that April 23rd, when we meet the antithesis of love, we just stand up to it and there's nothing to say. There's really nothing to say, because when you emit love and you're in that space of love, you don't need any protection. You have lots of compassion and empathy for where that other person is coming from. But there's nothing to do. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to correct it. You just be your truth with compassion, right? So because that's what this month is about. And if you're wrong, you make amends, you clean it up, and you figure out where to go from there. So you'll have all the answers that you need this month, Libra. Have an amazing month. Let me know how you do. And I look forward to connecting with you again next month with Intuitive Astrology. Hi, so if you're a Scorpio born October 23rd to November 21st, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. So right away what's coming up, Scorpio, is just this very methodical rhythm that's going on. Just, you know, you're in a rhythm of what's working. And then it feels like there's something that's going to come in that's going to split your time. This could be actually a really good thing. It could be a special project that you're asked to be on. It could be a job opportunity. It feels a little bit like you're taken and you're thrown in this mixer and mixing it all up. Not all the personalities are going to kind of like you or agree with you. So I feel like there's a little friction with some of the new personalities that are showing up in this new arena. The good news is, you know, I see them stepping on your toe, essentially. The good news is that, you know, you can be very diplomatic, you can be very calm, we know, being a Scorpio, you can sting. So, but my advice is don't use it, because if you use the stinger, this person tends to be a narcissist and very dramatic, and they really know how to buffalo people. So the thing that is if you go to sting, then everybody will see that you're the one who made them cry, or you're the one who made them feel bad. And all the heat will come back on you. So even though they're in the wrong and they sort of started it, it won't end well for you. So the job is for you is just to kind of like ohm your way through this month. Is just be balanced, be happy, whatever people say. Of course, it doesn't mean that you're going to be phony. It just means that, you know, you're going to bite your tongue. You just won't put them down, or you won't use the harsh tone that you have available to you. And remember, if you did listen to the overview I had for the month, when I talked about the first 12 days of the month and how each one of those days influenced an entire month for our next year, it's really important for you, Scorpio, those 12 days, when, you know, you're really just trying to be Zen-like, you're trying to be optimistic and positive and upbeat no matter what's going on. For you in particular, you want to kind of carry that out through the whole month, because there's so much energy coming at you and coming around, especially that blood moon on April 14th and April 15th, that full moon lunar eclipse. There's a lot of intensity for you, and what that could mean for you, Scorpio, is that there could even be somebody who personally attacks you, like just rah, 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 you know, like a barking dog, you know, at you. And of course, then you need to draw a very definitive line. But at the same time, there is something to be said about not dignifying a barking dog. It's a barking dog. Let it bark. Kind of like, you know who it is, so don't give it any energy. It's that kind of thing. As opposed to you being the master and going, I'm going to beat you down, you're a dog, I'm going to train you. And so you don't want to take that energy to this situation that shows up. Instead, you just want to see it as a barking dog. It's a barking dog. Let it bark. It's doing what dogs do. They bark. So if you do that, you'll be better off. They'll run out of energy. They'll run out of the steam by the end of the month. All ears will be on you. What do you want to do? What do you want to say? And I really see it's like it's a new group of people that you're with, or people that maybe your reputation has preceded you, and that's why you've been invited to come. So whether you're an actor and you've got a new opportunity to be in a movie, or whether you're a hairstylist and you're switching salons, or whether you're a CEO of a company and you're selling your company to someone else, or you're coming in as a manager to a new organization, or you're branching off and being used by somebody else, you know, in your organization, and you're being brought and switching teams because you're the person who gets it done. Nonetheless, there's somebody else where you're there and they're used to being the big dog, and they're not going to like that you're in their space. Too bad, right? But the thing of it is that you just need to be balanced in that space. You could think of it this way, that you're a guest in their home, right? And so you wouldn't offend them, but at the same time, you know when to draw a line if they cross the line in a way that's very balanced. So I know I spent a lot of time on that for you, Scorpio, but it's the entire month that way, where you'll be kind of tested, and you don't want to respond with these zingers back, because at the end of the day, it won't look well on you. Now, this grand cross that is supposed to happen April 23rd, where the four signs and two groups oppose each other, right? And that creates some turning points for you. For you, I think it could be a good thing. It feels like it's a combination of things that happen that open up for your career. And there's a lot of money inside. So it's opening up something for you where there's a lot of money. But the only way that you can get that is kind of like being nice, playing nice, and really having patience with what's going on. If you get in there and try and figure it out and try and manipulate it, it will remain locked. So in other words, you have to have patience for the universe to bring in the guy who's going to crack the safe for you. And he's going to look at you, and if he likes you, he'll open. If he doesn't like you, he won't. So your job is about making friends this month, right? And I don't mean in a suck-up way, phony way. Again, because people know when, especially with a Scorpio, that you're phony, because you're not. You guys are the straightest arrows. Everybody knows where you stand with a Scorpio. So you really want to find authentic things that you can say about people, and then you'll really be able to see this good turning point for you, for your career, your reputation, your relationship, whatever it is. And then new moon, solar eclipse, again, another eclipse on April 29th. That is like rocket fuel. And whatever you've kind of opened up around that April 23rd just takes you right to the moon. It just imbues you and fuels you so you go straight to the top. There's no, you're not, taking 10, 12 laps around the earth. You're going straight to the moon, right? So you're going straight to the top. So whatever this is, straight to the top. So it's really good energy, really powerful. But you have to do your part, which is to be quiet, to be humble, to know your worth, to know your value, but not have to push it in somebody else's face. See what other people are, where they are, and not make it any of your business if they're barking or not, or directing at you. It's kind of like letting it go. Now, the good news is for you guys, in relationship to money, really see great opportunity, fireworks for you at the end of the month. Okay, good stuff. Before that, I feel like you might have spent some money on your health, and whether it's positive things, whether you're proactive with your health, and you're somebody who gets vitamin C drops, or you're somebody who gets facials to make your external body look good, or massages for stress, or whether you spend a lot of money on vitamins or holistic treatments, Chinese medicine or acupuncture, or even wellness visits with doctors, whatever it is, I feel like there's been some money that's been going towards your health and getting you up to, so really you're at your best. Some of you have been dealing with other family members who've had some health issues, maybe challenges. It could be that someone in the past who's had health issues may come in. You may see them having another health issue show up this month. Don't hold your breath. Don't go, oh my God. Listen, this is a blessing, right? Whatever is being revealed to you this month, it's a blessing, right? God forbid it's some disease or something. But if you know about it, you can deal with it. So you don't want to like be blind and say, no, 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 I don't want to know. You want to say, no, I do want to know. So we can nip it in the bud and be done with it. So I do feel like there's somebody possibly from your past who has a history with disease or cancer or something like that you may hear from again this month, but in a much smaller scale. Like it's back, but guess what? It's only like this, and we're going to do this, and then it's done. So if you're with someone who has a history of cancers or a history of something, and they've recently discovered again, thank God that they'll get the right and perfect action. I don't see them leaving your life, so I really feel like this is just something that you're there to help them with, and I do think it'll be much better. So whatever shows up this month around relatives or friends and their health, just know that it's good things, because it's being, you're going to get the information and you'll know what to do with it, and then you'll be able to support them with it without having it to take all your energy or to turn into something where it's the worst thing possible, because it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's a blessing that you find out about it and that you know about it. Now, as far as relationship, well, let's look at your health. Well, okay, we already did that. It feels like it's fine to me. It feels like there's any small innocuous things will get handled. I feel like there's bigger things on the horizon for you this month, which has to do more with other people's health. Now, relationships, if you're in a physical relationship with someone, a romantic relationship with someone, you may find, you may get caught up in some semantics in the middle of the month, around that 15 to, 23rd date, where you're redefining what an open relationship is, or redefining, the parameters of a relationship, redefining, what's your degree of cheating or not cheating. Is kiss a cheating? Is a hug a cheating? Is sleeping with something, like what, like all these kind of defining, and I feel like you're not on the same page, and I feel like you get on the same page. So I feel like there's some negotiation and or conversation where maybe this person in the past has been telling you one thing, but they haven't been forthright with you. They haven't been really telling you to the depths, or they were authentic and they did tell you, but now things change. And just now they're changing their mind about the situation. They don't know why. Nothing's really happened, but all of a sudden they just now feel different. So you may have some interaction with that go on. Doesn't feel like the relationship's going to end. It just feels like it's going to maybe take a different form or change in a different way. If you're not in a relationship, there could be something new at the end of the month. Good, positive, new injection, new individuals, because like I said, you're in a new situation. It feels that has to do with your career or the areas of life that you influence, whether you're a volunteer, but it's areas of life where you influence, where I feel where you're influencing, where you may meet that other person that's sort of stubborn or pig-headed, or you irritate them, and you remind them of somebody, but they don't know who, and not in a good way. And whoever that kind of antagonist is in the middle of the month, I feel like it's in that area of your life where you could, this soulmate potential, or this another person to date or show up, kindred spirit, if you will, at the end of the month, there's a possibility of that showing up and having some fun. So enjoy just kind of like these of the moment relationships and have fun with them, but don't give them a lot of energy, because I do feel like, there's, with eclipses especially, there's so much energy bringing in. Sometimes we don't know why somebody's being brought into our life, and maybe it's to get a lesson, maybe it's to have greater understanding. So just enjoy the process and the relationships that you're in. It doesn't feel like anything that's really trying to turn to cement. It feels more like it's fluid, or it's about here to birth you in a new direction and to make you feel good about yourself and to really pick you up. So it's really positive things for you guys this month. The sky's the limit if you can just kind of keep your pinchers in and play nice. I think, Scorpio, you're going to have an amazing month, and you'll be well rewarded at the end of the month for doing just that. So have a great month, everybody, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. Hi, so if you're a Sagittarius born November 22nd to December 21st, what can you expect from the month of April 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Well, there's been a lot of indecision, a lot of open-ended things that you've been having to deal with, and almost feeling like people are trying to push you into making decisions, whether that's a decision to stay in a relationship or to get married, or whether to stay in an apartment and to move, or to stay in school or to move schools, or there's a lot of indecision that's been going on with you, Sagittarius. And while we know that you kind of are the commitment phobia person of the zodiac, the commitments are hardest for you. We also know that this energy that's coming in the month of April, in the form of these eclipses, are designed to really allow truth to prevail and to really bring out truth. So in essence, for you, Sagittarius, you should be relieved, because it's really, really, really going to help you loud and clear to know exactly what to do in all situations. So especially if you've been in a relationship and you've been afraid to commit, you're really going to get loud and clear whether or not it's because you're afraid of commitment or because it's the wrong person. So you'll really be able to know this month the truth of the situation. You'll really be able to know, oh no, I can't live without them. It's just my fear. Or you'll get very clear, no, I have fear because they're the wrong person. And so some things will come to light for you that will really help you see things that you haven't seen before about them, whether it's they have a really caring heart, or whether they're a bitch or a prick or a bastard, or whatever words you want to use. You're really going to see the significant other in your life very clearly that allows you to make the decision to stay with them or to leave them. So I feel like it's a very definitive time for you, Sagittarius. And the commitment could just even be, if you're in a relationship, the commitment could be that you're committed to staying in the relationship and working on it, or you're committed to leaving and finding a way out. So whichever way you are, whether you're in a relationship and you're trying to decide to move forward with it, or you're in the relationship trying to get out of it, it's going to be very clear. Now, if you don't have a relationship with anybody, romantic relationship, Sagittarius, the relationship, really what's going to be shown is to your own behaviors. Now, the other people will get that as well, but they'll be so busy, if you're in a relationship, tend to be more busy with getting out of that relationship or getting into that relationship. If you're not in a relationship, Sagittarius, the most predominant relationship then is the one you have with yourself. And that one you're going to be looking at and really seeing, wow, I don't like that about myself. Or, ooh, I didn't like that I said that. Or, wow, I really like that behavior. I want to do more of that. Or, why can't I be more like that all the time? So you're going to start to see these behaviors, and you're going to be judging in the background. I like, I don't like, I like, I don't like. And you'll be given then also tools or opportunities to really help you shine and to become more spiritual or more philosophical or more creative. The part of your personality that you're really wanting to bring out in the world, you're going to be coming across tools, education, books, scenarios, situations, coaches that are really going to be able to help you enunciate that aspect of your personality, or if you want to take that part of yourself and really turn it into a career. Let's say you're a good communicator and you really want to become a life coach, or you're a good communicator and you want to really take your game to the next level and you want to get on TV or you want to get on radio. You're going to be surrounded with the people that are going to help you get to that next level in your career, or that next level, first of all, in the relationship with yourself, and then into the career. So you have a lot of opportunities this month, stepping stones to kind of grab that brass ring. Some of these events that are going to happen sort of feel like they come out of the blue, like a phone call comes out of the blue and wow, you take off. So there's a lot of good, exciting stuff here that's going to happen for you, but you have to be willing to trust the process. And I say that and smile because I know, Sagittarius, for you, it's hard to trust, and you're starting to condition yourself to trust more and more and more. And of course, the older you are, the longer you've been a Sag, the easier it is for you to start to link the dots together and to see, oh, okay, if I trust, this good thing happens. If I trust, this good thing happens, right? So you do get consistent with it and you do get stable with it. So I do feel like some of the things that you have been maybe potentially stuck in or afraid of may come unglued this month too. And all the boats may come flying out because it's time to reinvent yourself or reinvent your career or reinvent the way you're perceived in the world. So Sagittarius, I feel a lot of this is about you more than other signs. I really feel this is about your reinvention and about how you want to see yourself. And I think definitely there's going to some screws are going to come loose about the way that you've been perceiving yourself or the way in which you've been conducting business or allowing yourself to be seen and heard in the world, that you're going to have to kind of think again about how you want to be seen or how you want to show or expose yourself in the world. So it's good though. The good news is that you're going to be given a lot of creative ideas and a lot of opportunity to think about. So you may get different ideas from different people showing up because they want to be in business with you or they want to hire you. The only way this will happen, though, is if you start to open your mouth and you start to notice the things that are going on, and then you're committed to change. You're committed, instead of fighting it, you're going, okay, I see the writing on the wall. Let's just make this happen. Let's move forward. So if you can get proactive with this energy, it's going to be much better for you. Then we have, so we have that full moon lunar eclipse on April 14th, also known as a blood moon. Blood moon. It's a lot of fiery energy. That feels closer to home to me. That feels like it could be fire with you and a child or you and a spouse. In terms around control or lack of control. So it feels like it's just something to be endured. At the April 23rd, I think it's just still blowing over. New ways of doing things, turning points, greater understanding, new philosophies, new ideas in which you operate in your family circles, in your family dynamics. And then at the end of the month, I feel like a breath of fresh air. I feel like you've gotten through whatever it is. The storm is past. It's over. And you can really start to appreciate the beauty of who you are, what you've done, how far you've come, and what you've accomplished. So it's really a fast-paced month in that you move through the highs really high. You go through the lows very quickly. And at the end of the month, there's just great appreciation for all the things that have happened because you really can see things differently, and I feel very calm in your energy, and I'm very happy and very satisfied where I end up at the end of the month. So whatever you're going through with the trajectory of these eclipses, I want you just to kind of relax or try to breathe your way through it, because at the end of the month, you'll be able to hold steady, you'll be fine, you'll really see that there was light at the end of the tunnel, you'll really be able to see the blessing of these things that happen, and it doesn't have to be negative, it doesn't have to be heavy, and it doesn't have to be hard. It really feels exciting and opportunistic for you to be able to really reinvent yourself. So have fun, Sag. It's going to be a good month for you, and new opportunities, money coming in, unexpected money coming in as well around that April 15th date. I do feel like this unexpected money, it could even be in the form of working for someone else or from your craft or your career, but it does feel unexpected, unforeseen around that 15th. So great month. So have an amazing month, Sages, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. Hi, so if you're a Capricorn, born December 22nd through January 19th, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's check in and find out. Well, I feel a couple things. I actually get some physical sensation with you guys, Capricorns. I feel some pain in my right side, and part of that feels like I've been running really fast. So it feels like I have a stitch in my side, that it's time to slow down a little bit. It's time to reorganize, time to kind of like get your bearings. And some of the things I see like you throwing out, some of the things that you don't need anymore, you're throwing out. Some of the tools that you don't need anymore, you're throwing out. Getting rid of the old. And really looking and deciding how you want your life to look. What are the things that you want to keep around or stick around? And the same with people. Looking at people in your lives. Who do you value? Who you're not interested in doing business with? Who do you don't care if you ever see again? And who do you want to establish a deeper, long, more committed relationship with? And I think that you're going to find that these eclipses that are showing up this month are going to give you a lot of insight into all the things that you want to create. Now we start with a new moon, April 1st, and the new moon is when we always want to inject new energy into the situations that we want to have happen. And then, of course, I talked about earlier on the overview for Aries that this particular month, it influences our whole 12 months. So for you, Capricorn, really look and see, Where do you want to work? I really feel like this is focused on your work, the type of work you want to do, where you want to see yourself, whether it's volunteer work, whether it's work for hire, whether it's entrepreneurial work. Where, first of all, which one of those industries do you want to be in? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to work for someone else? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to do a combination? So you want to look and kind of notice how you see yourself for the next 12 months. And then look at what you're currently doing. And you want to surrender and see what's not working and just declare it. It's not working. I'm not happy. I don't want to do that. Now, maybe some of you are making money at things that you don't like, but you still need to make money. So you got to look for the bridge that's going to give you what it is that you want to do. So if you can wave a magic wand, Capricorn, you want to look and see, and then verbalize, this is where I want to make money. This is where I get my joy. This is how I see myself in the next 12 months. And then if that's a completely different relationship to what you're doing now, a completely different career, these next couple of days, you want to be able to make strides towards that. So whether that means you're just going to go check out a book from the library, or you're going to make a few phone calls, or you're going to go on an interview, or you're going to go ask questions, or you're going to go experience what that work would be like, you want to put it out there because it's all the seeds that you're planting for this next 12 months to move you in that direction. Now, the same goes if you want to stop doing that. Then you want to start telling people, I want to transition out of this. If you have a boss, you want to say, I really want to see myself in a role as a manager. I want to work towards that in the next 6 to 9 months. That's my goal. I want to be done with this position, or I want to move over in that other department. So whatever it is, you want to start to kind of like, and then ask the powers that be, what could that happen? And if so, what do I need to do to get there? So you're planting seeds these next couple of days of the things you want to have happen. The same can be said of your relationships. If you want to make your marriage better, then you need to say to your partner, I want to make our marriage better. And what can we do? And should we travel more? What do we need to do? Do we need to set aside time? Do we need to organize our day a little bit more? And it's silly that we should have to put our loved one on a calendar, but you do what you have to do in order to make sure that there's time for each other. So these are things that I'm talking about, Capricorn, that need to be planted here in the first couple of days. Now, when you move to April 14th, that blood moon, from sundown to sundown, that 48 hours is strongest on April 14th, and then again there's some on April 15th to the end of April to the 16th, but mainly from sundown April 14th. What you want to do with that particular day for you is about kind of like just keep quiet. I really feel like information is going to be coming in. Some of it is it may be upsetting for you. It may be that somebody has broken a promise with you, didn't follow through, so they're causing you a bunch of headaches. I feel like a headache coming on. Like you're getting information about some people not doing what they say they were going to do. There's even potential for theft. I see that there's even a potential where somebody rips you off or potentially rips you off. So you want to make sure, beginning of the month, to minimize this, is that you are giving people rope to hang themselves with. So in other words, let's say you're a builder and you're hiring somebody new on the job and you're expecting them to get done. Don't go give them, $5,000 to go buy all the stuff that they need to do. No, you need to go with them and write out the check so you have the goods and services, or while they're checking out, get the bill and pay with your credit card. There's a danger here in that you giving people too much money that it can blow up in their face. When you get these eclipses, a lot of times our negative stuff comes out, right? The truth shows out. So if we're an alcoholic, if we're a drug abuser, sometimes we could run into those potential, those choices where I have extra money, had a bad day. Do I want it to go up my nose? Do I want to go drink myself? People are going to be, there's going to be some challenges here this month with people being able to control their emotions and control their reactions to the things that are happening. And I don't want you, and you could be hurt financially by giving too much money to a source that could potentially use that money not for the service that you paid them for, or you haven't even paid them for, but are expecting them to do. So there's a potential here for you, Capricorn. So really be aware, monitor the money that you're giving to others this month so that they don't use it, lose it, or abuse it. And then it ends up costing you more, and then you have to go back and clean up the mess on top of it. So that is, I see as a big problem for you around money blowing up around the April 14th, 15th. The same could be said is if you did the work and you were expecting to be paid, and then they were irresponsible with their money and you didn't get the money coming in. So if that's the case, then you want to be paid a chunk up front, and you want to make sure that they're paying, you're not paying out of your pocket, they're paying for the things that need to be done, and you aren't paying looking to get recouped. Okay? Be very careful with your money these first couple of weeks, Capricorn, because I just see opportunity for theft and loss. The good news is that you know who's doing it, you know where it's at, and you'll eventually get it back. But at what level of stress, at what cost, at what, so by doing a little extra work, staying ahead of it, staying on top of it for this month, knowing the validity, validity, I'm thinking it's valid, but the word I was looking for was for it to be volatile, right? Because of the solar eclipses, the first lunar eclipse on April 14th, April 15th, and then the solar eclipse on April 29th, which is new energy. But what those eclipses do, remember, they reveal the truth, and they bring a lot of energy to reveal that truth, so you can exactly see where your money's going, and what it's being used for, and if it's being done appropriately or not. Okay, and that goes across the board for everything, relationships, health, every area of your life. Okay, Capricorn, your health. I feel like you need to slow down a little bit. It would be helpful if you had some periods of rest. I feel like you've been stressed for a long time. I feel like your adrenals have been burned out for a long time. So if you have recently retired, or you recently can have or quit your job or something, you may just be getting caught up now. If you haven't and you're still going full speed, make sure that you just slow down, exercise, eat right, do the things that you need to do so you can maintain your health and you can feel good about it. Let me see if there's anything else here, Capricorn, for you this month. The good news is that I feel like a lot of heart energy from you. I feel a lot of patience from you. And usually Capricorns don't have a lot of patience because, you're the workers, you're the manifestors, and you can get irritable with people who are standing in your way. You're trying to build something, you're trying to master something, and people are, slow or moving slow around you, and you find it irritable. And I see this month you have more compassion. You bring more compassion to the table. You have more opportunity to relax. You feel less stressed by the people around you. And I think it's because you're coming from a new place. And some of these things that have happened for you, or recently in the last couple of months, and now again coming up in this month, is teaching you to be more patient with people. It's teaching you that there's nothing wrong. It's teaching you that everything is going to be okay. And so I think this month overall, given these highs and lows, you're actually going to do really well. And you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel like, wow, I didn't lose it. And wow, I didn't, that could have really been ugly, but I bit my tongue for the most part. So you're going to see progress in your own self-evolving nature, in which you'll really be able to restrict the way in which you react. And you'll feel much better. You'll feel calmer. You'll feel happier. And consequently, so will the people around you. So have an amazing month, Capricorn. There's some good opportunity. Other than, like I said, the only negative I was picking up was about, being careful with your money, which is not a bad thing to do anyway, is it? And then I think there's a big opportunity for you to really grow and to really grow your gold. So I really see like an opportunity for gold to really grow around you, and to really, at the end of the month with that new moon of Taurus, you may get hold of some new things or new understandings that you're pulled into that's worth a lot of money. So good opportunity at the end of the month for you guys. All right, thank you, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. Hi, if you're an Aquarian born January 20th to February 18th, what can you expect for the month of February 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Well, right away, Aquarian, I feel my whole stomach just like lurching. Like, just a lot of anxiety initially, and it just feels like you have a lot on your plate. There's a lot to do. I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And I feel like you've been kind of pulling the tapestry down and not really letting people know about everything that's going on for you. And whether it's just that, there's a lot of responsibility for you, or that you're worried about family members, or worried about business, or worried about, your kids, I feel like this is the month where you're going to get some real truth. And sometimes, when we don't talk about the things that we're worried about, we create them much bigger in our head than they actually are in reality. And I think in this month, you're going to really get some solid news about people in your life, and you're going to go, oh, thank God, I thought it was so much worse, or oh, thank God, that's all it is. So I think that you've made up a lot of things in your mind that are a lot worse than they really are. So I think, Aquarians, I think you're going to be greatly relieved when you get some of this news this month, that it's actually good news and it's not bad news. Or if it is, God forbid, about somebody's health, that it's like a little bump on the log as opposed to something really bad, or really negative, or a death sentence. God forbid. So it feels like a relief for you, whatever news comes in for you this month. Now, the beginning of the month, the new energy this month, I really see potentially new contracts for you, new opportunities. Do see some travel for you in the early part of the month. And it feels personal travel. It feels like it's positive. It feels like it's heart related. So it's whatever you do, whether it's your career or a family vacation, it's something that you love. So I do feel like it's good. And it does feel long distance to me. So if you don't already have that planned, or if you do, it does feel like it'll go well. Around the 14th, 15th, we have that blood moon. Now for you, it feels like this has to do more with family matters. It feels very personal to me, and it feels like just irritants of battles within the family, whether that's your immediate family or the family of your childhood with your parents and your siblings. But it feels just irritating and just petty. It feels very petty to me. So in that regard, it's easier for you to sort of let go and not take it to hurt. Now, part of the problem here is I feel like there could be, that you could be emotionally injured. In other words, that, one of your parents, God forbid, didn't stand up for you, or a sibling didn't stand up for you. But it feels like your feelings are hurt, that somebody didn't come to your rescue, or that somebody didn't self-correct or correct somebody else, that they actually talked to you in a certain way, or demeaned you in a certain way. So all of these things, this can all be muted by simply not taking everything to heart that happens this month. It's really about just saying, okay, that's their opinion, and not taking it personally. And then looking to see, is there any truth to it? When you look to see, is there truth to something, then we can correct it. And we have the freedom then to be able to go, yeah, you know what? I've been a little crabby. I have been a little controlling. I have been dominating. You're right. So let's see, how can I inspire you? How can I help you to take the control so I don't have to? So there's a way to work these things out by being proactive and just being accepting of what people say. So the first part of the month especially, you really want to put a lot of energy into that, of not making waves. But the second part of the month, equally for you, Aquarius, because you have that free spirit, you have that ability to be able to soar and to see things, and then you're just going to feel like people are clipping your wings, like they're downers, and they're trying to stuff you in a box and not let you fly. It's not true. Okay, so your job is just to kind of let it go, let them say whatever they need to say, and not make it mean anything. And you'll be able to bring more energy to this in the latter part of the month, especially around that new moon solar eclipse that happens on the 29th. I think you're going to be satisfied with the resolution that happens, and you're going to find a new way of doing things or communicating with your family that really makes sense to you and makes sense to them too. Now let's look at your money, Aquarians. I feel like you've been very meticulous with your money. I feel like you've been careful with your money. I also feel like there's maybe in your mind not a lot or not enough money. So what that just tells me is that you used to have more money than you have now. So whatever scale that means to you. The good news is I do feel like there's going to be some new creative things that are going to come up that are going to allow you to bring some more money in to replace it. That could even be an injection from inheritance. Nobody has to die to receive an inheritance, okay? So I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is that your parents could have set some money aside, and then they said, okay, you know what? let's just give it to them now. So there could be some of this money coming in that's from an inheritance. It could be something where you sell. It could be that you refinance and you pull money out of something. So all these are good for you, and all of it is positive for you. So it doesn't feel like it's anything negative at all for you, Aquarian. As far as your health goes, I feel like you need to have patience. And I feel like you've had patience for a long time. So if there's a particular way that you've been trying to look, or you've been changing your diet, I think if you're going to see some things this month. For some of you, it's a pain in the neck. I feel like, I've been doing this so long and I'm not really getting the results I want. I think you're going to see the error of your ways. In other words, if you've been on a specific program and you're not really getting the results, you're going to see the truth this month about either that maybe you were, so let's say it's a certain formula and you're supposed to take it at a certain time of day, but you've been taking it at night instead of in the morning. So it's like little tweaks like that. They feel like, oh, like they kind of like these, oh, I didn't know. Or if you're somebody who food combines things, you're misunderstood and you're combining something wrong. So there's like kind of like an oh thing. Or it could just be that it's not for you and something else shows up. So nonetheless, it just feels like these aha moments for you around some things you've been trying to do for yourself with your own health. And they're good aha moments. They're like clarifying for you, and they're healing for you. So they're great opportunities this month. So Aquarians, have a fabulous month. It feels really good. I feel like your relationships are strong. I feel like, your job is to not take in exactly what people are saying to you. Just kind of look at it from their point of view. Don't make anything out of it too much. Don't, and whether, somebody comes to your rescue or not, it's like you don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. They may know something else about that person that if they were to step in and say, hey, don't do that, that it could create this, catapulting event where something else major goes on. And so there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. So I don't want you to judge the people in your life too harshly if they're not running into rescue. And you want to just sit from the point of view that there's nothing to be rescued. Everything's fine. Whatever anybody says to me, I'll take an honest look at it, but I'm not going to engage. It's, it's information. So if you treat it that way, Aquarians, you're going to have a breezy, easy month. You'll get to the end of it. You'll really feel relief. You'll have a greater level of consciousness and stability for yourself with lots of joy. So have an amazing month, Aquarians, and I'll see you again next month. Hi, so if you're a Pisces, born February 19th to March 20th, what can you expect for the month of April 2014? Let's find out. So Pisces, I see, you've been on this creative binge, I want to say. You're creating here, you're creating here, you're creating here, you're creating here, you're creating, so you're just binging on all this creation. And what you're going to see is in this month, it feels like some of those things evaporating. And that's okay, because you had way too many ideas, way too many things going on at once. So some of those things are just going to evaporate. They're not going to take off. Thank God, right? Can you imagine that if everything that you were like looking at what you wanted to do or whatever, it's just too much. And you're going to start to see some unexpected things happen. Some of the things that you weren't quite sure were going to take off are actually going to do very well. And some other things that you were hoping would take off might be a little slower build, might be not take off as fast, but still be good. So what your job is this month is to notice what's taking off. And whatever is taking off, put more energy to it. Now, what if something takes off that you're like, God, I really didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to go back to work. I really didn't want to go to work for them, or I really was going to be done with that profession, but now it's taking off. So here's the thing. When the truth is being shown to you this month, and they're showing this is where their energy is for you, then your job is just to bring, well, okay, I'm going to do that. I'll do it. But I also want to bring these other elements to it on how I want to see myself in the next 12 months. So you can create and be a catalyst for change, but go in there and also say, I'll do this, but I want it to look like this for the next 6 months. So negotiate. Just negotiate whatever you can with it. And if you can't negotiate with the individual, then just negotiate with the universe and say, okay, I'm going to do this. But this, and then the next couple of days, put the time, effort, and energy into the other things that you want to see have happen. So sometimes there's a lag time between our desires and our wants and actually seeing them manifest. So if you're still manifesting from things from the past, those are all the effort that you've been putting in for the last how many months or years. So why would you walk away? You wouldn't, right? Accept them, let them come in, but keep putting your efforts and energy into where you want to go. And then magically, each little step, it'll just keep tweaking it. And eventually, you'll be on the path that you want to be on. Now, for the April 1st date for you, I see some good solid things showing up early, like Wednesday or Thursday for you, that might require immediate travel, like immediate travel, go and come back. And there's rewards, there's a check, there's money involved. So you may get immediate travel. You may hear about it Thursday or Friday and be gone right away next week. Short doesn't feel like long, it feels like a couple of days, so there may be some opportunity for you to travel or go support someone, but there's money involved. Also see Pisces, then around the April 14th, that blood moon for you. This is where your words, Pisces, get you in trouble. It could be anything from coming from your heart and you want to help somebody and you try to do too much for them, and by doing too much for them, you're taking away their own power or you're causing them to not trust themselves. So if you're a parent who's doing too much for a child, you may be, unfortunately, making them feel less than good about themselves because, they can't do it for themselves, or your actions make them feel like they're scared and that they don't know what they're doing. So be careful, Pisces, that you stepping in and helping someone with your words, that you're doing more damage than good. You want to be able to really, around that 14th, 15th, 16th of April, really assess the situations. And you're really intuitive, you're really sensitive. So ask questions, ask questions as opposed to stating fact. And when you ask questions, it helps to bring buoyancy to the other people, and they're able to be heard then, and it creates the same dynamic, only from their point of view, so they can help themselves as opposed to you jumping in, telling them what to do or how to do it. Okay? And that continues through that Grand Cross, April 23rd, those turning points. Now, here's the thing. If you don't take this message and you're not heeding the conversation, it feels like there could be this big blow up and there's a turning point where they just say, fine, I'm moving out, I'm done, or fine, I don't want to do it this way, or you're fired, or wherever it is that problem is in your life of the headbutting, it will come to a manifestation if you're not just kind of going more with the flow and allowing people to be exactly where they are. So this is really about wherever people's reactions are, is just acknowledge them, observe them, and that there's nothing wrong. So if you can just hold that temple and send positive energies to people who are struggling as opposed to doing it for them, you'll feel better. Now there's other signs who are going to need to jump in and help them and do things out. But Pisces, that's normally who you are. Is you're the one who's normally jumping in and helping. And because of that, this is about changing your nature, being a little bit different. The universe is working with you differently, which is more inspirational, helping people inspire, less conventional. And so this month will be unconventional for you. You'll come up with new ideas, new ways of doing things, but not everybody will be on board with your new ideas. So you have to be careful who you share them with, and you want to make sure that they're valid and they're real instead of just throwing them out there and just assuming that they will work. You want to make sure they're tried and proven. So going slower is better for you. Then we have the Grand Cross that we just talked about, those turning points. Then we have the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus on April 29th. So essentially, this is really about putting down roots for you, Pisces, really bringing energy into the one thing that you want to be seen and heard of. You're going to see around that eclipse an opportunity. It feels like it has to do with the way you finesse yourself, the pinpointing of how you like to be seen in the world, who you are, and being the catalyst that you are. And there's going to be an opportunity for you to be a catalyst, and an opportunity for you to be able to speak up, and an opportunity for you to be able to teach others. I feel like there's a strong, of course we know you're psychic, we know you're very spiritual, and there may be an opportunity for you to be able to teach others via possibly online. You may be given an opportunity to do an online class. You may be approached to actually fly to another country and teach a subject. You may be asked to go into a higher thought of learning, higher education. In other words, you may be asked to step up and to go to a university and be a professor, or at a collegiate level if you're teaching at high school. So it feels like there's a shift to academia and a shift in kind of like a feather in your hat, and you being able to be acknowledged as the teacher. So an opportunity for you to be acknowledged as the teacher, an opportunity for you to be able to impress your thoughts and ideas and conversation on other people, and it's going to be valued, and so it will be valued. And this is the beginning of something new for you. So so make sure that you know what you're talking about. Make sure that you can back it up with your facts, and that it's been tried and proven. And I think by doing that, you're going to really feel some excitement and some relief. So this is really good. It's nothing you've been. I don't feel like it's anything you've done before. I feel like you know this information, but it's being packaged different and being put out into the world in a different way and to a new audience for you. So very exciting stuff, Pisces, and it's all good. And I really feel really happy and open to this energy, and I really feel like it's very easy for people to eat out of your hands. So have an amazing month, Pisces, and look forward to connecting with you next month.